You know that moment late at night when you're tired, scrolling on your phone, and you see someone saying, just start a side hustle. Anyone can make an extra $1,000 a month. And you sit there thinking, yeah, maybe that's what I need. Just a little extra income and everything will feel easier. David had that exact thought. Full-time job during the day, already drained by 6 p.m., but still convinced that the real problem wasn't exhaustion. It was that he just wasn't earning enough. So he signed up for food delivery on weekends, told himself it was temporary. I'll grind for a few months, stack cash, get ahead. I think about this stuff way too much, by the way. My name's William, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time noticing how normal, responsible-sounding money decisions slowly turn into stress, burnout, and weird financial loops we never meant to create. And the side hustle David picked up? It didn't make his life easier. It made him more tired, more impulsive, and weirdly, worse with money. Let's talk about that.
The promise that hooks you. A side hustle sounds like control. You're not asking for a raise, you're not depending on your boss, you're taking charge. That feels powerful, productive, adult. You tell yourself, it's just a few extra hours, it's better than complaining, future me will be grateful. Yeah, I know. You're not lazy, you're trying to be responsible. But here's the thing nobody says out loud. More income does not automatically mean more financial progress. Sometimes it just funds a more expensive version of your current life. The time-energy trade nobody warns you about. David started working Saturdays and a few evenings. At first, he felt proud, productive, like he unlocked a secret level in adulthood. Then, small things changed. He was too tired to cook, so he ordered food more. Too tired to think, so he impulse bought stuff online. Too drained to compare prices, cancel subscriptions, or track spending. Let's take an example. Extra side hustle income plus $400 a month. Extra convenience spending from exhaustion minus $260 a month. Actual progress plus $140 while working 20 extra hours. A study from Stanford found that productivity sharply declines once people work consistently beyond about 50 hours per week, and burnout increases fast after that. Not only do you get tired, your decision-making gets worse. So the extra hours you're trading, they quietly reduce the quality of the rest of your life decisions. You didn't become bad with money, you became tired.
More income equals more lifestyle creep. Here's the sneaky part. When David saw more money coming in, he didn't feel like he had to be as strict anymore. I worked extra this week. I deserve this. It's covered. That extra income stopped feeling like a tool and started feeling like permission. Research from Princeton has shown that as income rises, people quickly adjust their lifestyle expectations. What used to feel like a luxury starts to feel normal. That process is called hedonic adaptation. So instead of side hustle money going to savings or debt, it often goes to better takeout, small upgrades, subscriptions, random Amazon packages. The hustle doesn't build wealth. It raises your cost of normal. The hidden cost, your mental bandwidth. Let's be real for a second. Money decisions require mental energy. Comparing prices, planning meals, saying no, waiting before buying. After a long workday plus a side hustle shift, you don't have disciplined investor brain, you have tired human brain. A famous study on decision fatigue showed that as people get mentally drained, they make more impulsive and short-term decisions. Judges literally gave fewer favorable rulings later in the day because they were mentally exhausted. So imagine your brain at 9:30 p.m. after 2 jobs. You're not planning your financial future. You're clicking buy now. You didn't fail. Your brain hit its limit. Side hustles can trap you in short-term thinking. Side hustles usually pay fast and small. Deliver today, paid this week. Freelance tonight, paid this month. That creates a loop where you're always focused on the next quick payout instead of bigger, slower financial moves, like learning a higher income skill, negotiating salary, or investing time in long-term growth. Here's a very simple example. David makes $15 an hour delivering food. Spends 20 hours a month is $300. Same 20 hours learning a career skill could raise salary $200 a month permanently. One gives you temporary relief, the other changes your baseline. But guess which one feels easier after a long day? Exactly.
But I need the extra money. I hear you. Some people truly need extra income just to survive. This isn't aimed at someone choosing between rent and groceries. This is for when the side hustle is supposed to be your financial breakthrough, but really just keeps you afloat while you stay exhausted. There's a difference between emergency income and endless hustle mode. One is survival, the other is a treadmill, and treadmills are profitable, just not for you. The identity trap. Here's where it gets emotional. You start seeing yourself as someone who grinds non-stop. That becomes part of your identity. Rest starts to feel lazy. Free time feels unproductive. But a long-term study from Harvard on adult well-being found that chronic stress and lack of recovery time are strongly linked to poorer health and lower life satisfaction over time. You didn't start hustling to feel worse, but slowly your life becomes work, recovery, work, recovery. Money was supposed to buy freedom. Now it's buying more work. Where side hustles do make sense. Let's be fair. Side hustles can be powerful when they build a skill, a network, or an asset, something that grows over time. But if it's just trading hours for small cash while draining your energy, it's not a wealth strategy. It's overtime with an app. And overtime is a short-term tool, not a long-term plan. The shift that actually changes things. Instead of asking, how can I earn more hours of income, try asking, how can I increase the value of 1 hour of my time? That question leads to different actions, learning, negotiating, changing roles, building skills that compound. It's slower at first, less flashy, no instant payout notification, but it doesn't require you to sacrifice every evening and weekend just to stay in place. The brutal truth? Side hustles often make you feel productive while quietly keeping you tired, reactive, and stuck in short-term financial loops. You didn't fail because you didn't hustle hard enough. You might just be hustling in a direction that doesn't build real leverage. More hours isn't always the answer. Sometimes the answer is protecting your energy so you can make smarter, bigger moves. And yeah, that's less Instagrammable, but it works. So, if this hit a little close to home, that's not an attack, it's awareness. You're not lazy, you're not behind, you're just living in a culture that tells you exhaustion is ambition. Maybe the real upgrade isn't another income stream. Maybe it's a clearer mind, better decisions, and income that grows without stealing every free hour of your life. You deserve progress that doesn't burn you out. And sometimes the smartest financial move is protecting your energy like it's your most valuable asset.
So, should you take a side hustle or not? All right, let's slow this down for a second, because this isn't side hustles are bad. This is not all extra income moves your life forward. So, how do you actually decide? Here's a simple filter, and yeah, I want you to mentally run your current or future side hustle through this. Question 1. Does this make future me's time more valuable or just more occupied? Be honest. If you stop doing it, does your earning power drop back to exactly where it was? Then you're renting out your time. That's fine short-term, dangerous long-term. If it builds a skill, reputation, portfolio, or network that increases what you can earn per hour later, now we're talking leverage. One drains energy, the other multiplies value. Very different. Question 2. What is this costing me that I don't see on a bank statement? You see the extra $300,
But do you see the skipped workouts, the worse sleep, the impulse food orders, the mental fog, the fact you haven't had one quiet evening in weeks? A side hustle that costs you your energy often quietly increases your other expenses. Convenience spending goes up, long-term planning goes down. If your hustle requires recovery spending, it's not paying what you think it is. Question 3. Would I still do this if I were already financially stable? This one hits different. If the answer is no, then it's not an opportunity, it's a survival tactic. And survival tactics are meant to be temporary, not a lifestyle you normalize for 5 years. If the answer is yes, because it teaches you something, connects you to people, or builds something meaningful, that's a green flag. One keeps you afloat, the other moves you forward. Here's a clever rule David learned too late. If your side hustle makes you too tired to improve your main income, it's slowing your financial growth, not helping it. Read that again. Because the job that pays you most over your lifetime is usually your primary career, not the $14 an hour thing you squeeze in at night. Protecting the energy that helps you grow that main income, that's not laziness, that's strategy. And one last thing. You don't always need more income. Sometimes you need fewer leaks. Before adding 15 extra hours of work, ask, could I get the same financial result by cutting $200 of unconscious spending? Because removing a leak doesn't cost you time. Earning extra income always does. Time is your only non-renewable asset. Once it's traded, it's gone. Money can come back. Energy can recover. Time doesn't. So, yeah, be ambitious, be driven, but don't let hustle culture trick you into solving a money management problem with an exhaustion solution. That's not a power move. That's a trap with motivational quotes on it. If this video helped you see money a little differently, hit like so more people can find it. And if you want to avoid the mistakes that keep most people stuck, subscribe. I post videos like this every week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.